So that's the evap system, the canister, the valve. I think this is a one-way valve, and the hose that runs from the fuel tank to right about here, and the other hose that runs from here to the throttle body. Now the whole idea behind removing this is kind of in the worst possible place for it to be. It collects all sorts of dust and debris, and I have kind of removed the whole thing and cleaned it and put it back together multiple times. I've done it many number of times, and that is one reason why I never had any issues with fuel escaping or vapor escaping from my lid, my petrol tank lid, or for that matter, I never really faced any issues with erratic idling or running issues. But then I've been getting mail after mail, message after message on a lot of platforms asking me about what's going wrong with their machines. Why does it stall? Why does it cut off? Why does the engine cut off abruptly? And so on and so forth. And so the culprit is this. This is the number one thing that could be causing an issue. To start with, a pinched hose. This runs from underneath the fuel tank and starts crawling in and out of all sorts of places, and then goes to your goes to the canister which is underneath the engine, and then comes the other hose. This is pretty clean and neatly routed, but that being said, even then this too can get pinched. So the whole idea is either the cable is pinched or this particular valve is not functioning properly. It is a little bit tricky to go about fixing that. You can't really fix it. The best way to go forward is to replace this valve. And then again, there's this issue of parts. You don't get half the parts in the RE service stations. So the best way to put an end to all this misery is to completely eliminate this kit, take it off your machine and put it in the bin. But that's the whole idea. Remove the whole thing and put back the machine together. The machine is running flawlessly, just as usual. No big difference to power or throttle response or blah 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 blah, because I never really had any issues with mine. But for the ones who are experiencing erratic idling, engine shutting off, bad throttle response and all sorts of things, stalling, then you will definitely find an immediate improvement the moment you get rid of this system. You will have a stable idle, your vehicle will run flawlessly. So that's that. Keep these bolts aside. Lift the tank. You will find two metal washers underneath. That one and one more. Keep them aside as well. Now what you need to do is disconnect the fuel pump connector. Keep a piece of cloth ready. Disconnect the fuel hose. And drain the excess fuel. Be careful that you take it onto a piece of cloth and not on don't let it pour on your engine. Fuel on your engine is not a good idea. On to the other side and put your hand underneath and look for a blue connector. I don't know if you guys can see, but that is what I'm talking about. Look for that and unplug the same. Comes off easy as that. Now we're good to remove the tank. going to be a little tricky. You'll have to lift the tank, pull it out, try it out, just pull it out a bit, lift slightly higher, put your hand underneath, and you have to get one of these hoses out, and next would be the overfill drain hose before you pull the tank out. And once the tank is out, yeah, well, that's the tank in place. And okay, so the way the Evap system works is this hose kind of collects the extra escaping, not escaping gases. I mean the gases which cannot escape to the atmosphere, and runs it through a small charcoal canister underneath, and from that you have clean filtered fuel vapor that runs through this hose, goes into the carb, and it's a system as simple as that. Okay, what you do now is you get rid of the skid plate, because that is what has your charcoal canister. So I'm going to successfully remove the whole of it. It's best to remove the canister as well, otherwise you could just plug these tubes here and there and the job will be done. But what I'm going to do is remove the canister and show to you how to go about things. A total of 6 bolts to remove. Lower the skid plate. It's a time-taking process. Be a little gentle with this. Okay, so that is what comes out. You have a hose running from here, attaching to that valve, and you have a hose running from underneath here. Bhai sahab, baad mein. Hose running from here that goes on to that. So technically, if your hose is pinched, you will have all sorts of symptoms. If it's pinched here, you will have symptoms. If this valve doesn't work properly, I mean this valve doesn't allow for the whole system to be circulated, you will have symptoms show up. So the best thing to go about doing is to take this wire or this hose that goes into your, if you watch carefully, this kind of goes like that to your throttle body. And this hose, if you see, I can pull it out. So the system was, this gets the unburnt escaping fuel gases, circulates it through this, and the engine or the throttle body kind of sucks in filtered gases through this system into the inlet port of the engine. So what we are going to be doing now is to delete this. You take the you take this hose that connects to your throttle body and you connect it straight to your tank. So whatever vapor or the gases that need to be circulated or sucked in, get sucked in directly from the tank without any crappy filtration. I mean, if this system works well, then there's absolutely no need for you to delete this. But at times this valve gets stuck here and doesn't work properly, and so it causes all sorts of erratic idling, erratic running, shutting off, all sorts of issues like that. And also the kind of place where this whole system lies is here. All the slush or the mud, all the gunk that can possibly damage the system is right about here. So that's another reason why you need to get rid of the system. And another thing, yeah, that is me getting myself into some trouble today. Any which ways, another thing that can go wrong with the system is this whole thing can start to leak because of cracks developing in the rubber hoses. And is it a foolproof system? Definitely not. So and it's also not a very high quality attachment. So that being said, what I would do now to eliminate this is to take this hose and connect it directly to the fuel tank, and this hose that comes from the fuel tank, I have just taken it out. The most important thing is for us to have the right amount of length on this cable so that it goes underneath. I mean, I kind of will pull it from here onto this side and will connect it to the fuel tank. So maybe I'll leave just about the right length and cut the rest. So again, this is the hose or tube that goes to the throttle body. We're going to be chopping it off right here so that it can connect directly to the fuel tank. And that's how we have successfully managed to remove the evap kit. That's the whole of it. Let me put everything back together and then get back to you guys. So now put back the tank. Fixed the blue connector underneath. Plugged the fuel pump connector, pulled the fuel line into the fuel pump, and put back the bash plate or the skid plate. This removing these two and the other two bolts on the other side is the most difficult part. This is the most tricky part. Getting it out and putting it back in is going to be a big hassle, but it's because of the exhaust on the other side, and these bolts don't line up to the skid plate, and the frame and the skid plate, they don't line up really well. So there's going to be a lot of manhandling this for you to be able to put it back. But then once that's done, it's a done and dusted affair. So that's the whole of it. Now for the moment of truth. Okay. That's a job that comes to an end. I'll just take a small test ride and maybe get back to you and let you guys know how this feels.